Hey everyone, I'm Stacy, the 911 Stitcher. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch and crafting. Today is Wednesday, January 18th, 2023. This is video 104. My videos are always about cross stitch. I also sometimes talk about crochet, English paper piecing, anything with yarn and thread, but I always talk about cross stitch because that's what I do the most. I do have some small quilting projects that I'm going to start working on, and I'll talk about that in a regular YouTube video, probably next week. This video, though, is just a special on samplers. For those of you that like samplers as much as I do, then stay tuned. If you've been following me, you know that I just returned from a retreat in Arizona. It was put on by Jean and her staff at the Attic Needlework shop. The Attic is fantastic. If you ever get into the Phoenix area, Mesa area, Tempe, take a quick stop and go see the Attic Needlework, especially if you love samplers as much as I do and you love the history and you just love to stitch them. Jean also sells all kinds of things. I was going through Prairie Schoolers. I was going through Primrose Cottage. I actually bought a Heart and Hand, which I'm going to show in a few minutes because I'm going to mention what I actually worked on at the retreat. Now, a lot of my samplers are on higher count fabrics. So when I go to a retreat, I don't like to bring those because it's a little harder for me to see. Even though I have a desktop magnifier and lamp, I like to generally bring things that I can see well. And so I'll show you what I brought. I'll tell you this video is going to be a little bit about the retreat very briefly. I'm going to show you the charts that we received so that way you can look for these charts in the future. I believe they come out a year after a retreat. Sometimes they're available right away. Retreat participants get them first, and then sometimes they're released. Sometimes they're not released for a year, but at least you'll get to see what we got and keep an eye out in the future when the designer releases it to everybody. So I'm not going to go through all the fabulous stuff that I received at the retreat, only because I've got a lot to show. This video is not only going to be just a short bit about the retreat, I'm going to show you things I've been working on related to samplers. I've got a lot of them. I have some that it's kind of going to be maybe like a sampler whip parade, work in progress whip. So I'll show you samplers, some of my favorites that I've been working on. There are several. Then I thought it would be fun to show you what samplers are in my near future. What do I have kitted up that I just might get to after I have a few sampler finishes? And then I have a huge stack of charts that I absolutely love and just thought that I would show you a few of my favorite charts. I say a few, but there's a huge stack, but we may not get through that stack. So let's get started. Let's talk about the retreat. It was last Friday. They usually start Friday in the evening at 5 o'clock. You go in, find your seat, find who you want to sit with, meet new people, and then it's dinner time. After Jean and her staff introduce themselves and everybody gets settled, you go to dinner, which is right outside the ballroom. Beautiful, fantastic setup for food. The Hilton Garden Inn staff does an amazing job on food. So we had a beautiful dinner. We went back in, and the first presenter was Vicki from Needlework Press. Now, one of the things that she gave us was just so beautiful. I like to tend to start these when I get home. I think I concentrate better when I get home, and I tend to not start them during class. Sometimes I do, and then I'll come home and finish them, later on. One of the things I actually have sitting here is my name tag, and my friend made this adorable name tag holder, which if you can believe this, I forgot to wear the entire time. Every day I went down back to my room, I kept saying, I'm going to pull this out and wear it the next day. But I did forget my actual name tag that I made at the Bristol retreat last June. Now, if you guys remember, we made these on perforated paper. So our name tags, I did mine in 115. That may have been what they gave us. I can't remember. They gave us all the fixins to actually make the name tag. The perforated paper, the thread, I believe they gave us a needle. And so we made name tags in class. So what I did when I got home is I slipped my name tag in so that way I wouldn't forget to bring this because I am leaving for a retreat on February 1st. So this is my name tag holder, which I absolutely love. And she gifted that to me to wear. So I will be taking this with me at my next retreat. Super excited about that. Okay, next, so the first presenter was Vicki from Needlework Press. She always gives out the most adorable things, fully kitted. So here's what she gave: a parlor pin keep. Vicki and Megan is her daughter-in-law, put together a beautiful presentation of these gorgeous designs, and you could make a pin cushion. Now, I can't show you the inside, but I believe there were two different graphs. Yeah, two different graphs, but she gave us everything we need to make that. I thought it was so pretty. I would like to do that later because I think the material she gave us was beautiful. Classic colorwork thread. She gave us the material, the fabric, everything we need. One of these feels like velvet. I think it's this one, this color right here. It's beautiful. So you can see you have everything to make a parlor pin cushion. Beautiful, beautiful kit. And like I said, some people were actually getting started making them in class. I did not get a start on it because I was dying to do it when I got home and just go through everything. When I'm by myself and it's quiet and I'm just looking at all my goodies, that's when I like to start. So anyway, project number one, Vicki from Needlework Press, Vicki and Megan, her daughter-in-law. And that was kit number one that we got at the symposium retreat. Next, the next day, now I got there early, Wednesday, Thursday, and then all of those days I had trouble sleeping. And for some reason, that following day on Saturday morning, I was hurting. So I didn't fall asleep. I was up at 3 in the morning. We had been shopping at the Attic. So I'm up wide awake at 3 in the morning. I never fell asleep. I never went to sleep because I just couldn't fall asleep. So I was really hurting and I missed Saturday morning, and that was Nicola Parkman. So I didn't get to see her beautiful presentation of Sarah Milthorpe, but I will show you what she looks like. She's gorgeous and just wow. This will come out soon. You'd have to ask Nicola when it will come out. But again, this is was our retreat piece, and here's the name, Sarah Milthorpe. She's beautiful, 1834. The loss of time is much. And we got everything to go with it. We got the silks to go with it. I'll show you the fabric. It also included a gorgeous greeting card. These cards are beautiful. I don't know if the Attic has more of these. You could check with them, but wow, it's just beautiful. Sarah Milthorpe, the fabric they chose, I chose 46 count, and the fabric is Tabby Cat Creme Brulee. So you can see how beautiful is this fabric and how amazing is it going to look, is Sarah going to look. And I know it's a little wild, but wait till you see some of the finished pieces, because you have to remember a lot of this is going to be covered and it's just going to be enhanced by the fabric that does show. It's just gorgeous. So this is the idea. I mean, this is what it's going to be on. And I chose 46 count. If for some reason I have trouble seeing the holes on 46, which I don't think I will, I work on a lot of dark fabrics that are higher count. I can always switch out the fabric, maybe to a 40 with a little bit bigger holes. So anyway, that's what she's going to look like. And she's so beautiful. And we did receive all of the threads to go with it. These colors, look at that red. That color red is just so pretty. Red's one of my favorite colors for a sampler. So you can imagine what that's going to look like on this. And there's the chart. So pretty. We received this in the prettiest Attic bag. What a great project bag. So you get, this is the kind of things that you get at Sampler Symposium or other retreats, Bristol, but they always have the nicest bags. Jean always has beautiful bags that she gives out. So this whole kit came together in this bag. So that's the second sampler that we got. The next one, and I just love that we got this card to go with it. Isn't that just so pretty? The next sampler that we got was Anne Campion, along with some wood smoke, 46 count Tabby Cat. So this also came from Nicola. I love a monochromatic sampler. I love black especially. And I think this is so pretty. Actually, this shows 3 colors. Is there 3 colors? This looks all black to me, but she probably explained it in the class. but I'm seeing cream, pink, and black. Yes, please. If there is other colors, I will, well, obviously there is, I will use it. But anyway, this is the color fabric that we got with it. I don't know why I can't get a good picture. There we go. So as you can see, that's going to be just beautiful. Let me see if the threads are maybe, I thought I saw more threads. Yep, here's the thread colors. So again, that all came in the bag too. This is what it's going to look like, that pretty cream, pink and black. And again, that's the sampler. So this is the color. I can't get my light on there. That's probably as best as it's going to be. And this is the sampler. I love this. This is probably another favorite. I mean, I really have to say, every chart we got at the Sampler Symposium was my favorite. I just loved them. After that was a presentation by Claudia Dutcher from Dutch Treat Designs. She's, again, one of my favorites. I saw her and met her at the Bristol retreat hosted by the Attic Needlework back in June. Her presentations are awesome. Now, this is Isabella Thatcher, 1871. It is a sampler worked in the Muller New Orphan Home of Bristol, England. I am actually going to get to visit the Bristol Museum, the George Muller Museum, come end of September when I go for Nicola Parkman's retreat in the UK. So we're excited. We just got our plane tickets and we're super excited for that as well. Nicola always gives a beautiful presentation on her samplers, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I believe Claudia is coming too. So anyway, when Claudia did her presentation, I came in at the end. So unfortunately, I missed her presentation as well. And I didn't feel quite so zombie-like after I was able to finally fall asleep at 6 a.m. I mean, how ridiculous. I laid there all night long. So anyway, this is Isabella Thatcher, 1871, and I love me a Bristol sampler. I'm currently working on Mary 395 and a second one on perforated paper, a smaller one. I've shown those in previous videos. So anyway, beautiful sampler. Thank you to Claudia. She also gave us Dutch Treat Designs presents Sudbury Hall School for Girls Tribute Sampler. This is absolutely beautiful. And I know there was a story behind this that I missed. And it's just perfect. I love the history of these girls and where they came from. All of the motifs are in here. It's just a beautiful gift. Thank you, Claudia. Okay, so after that, did we go to lunch? Yes, we went to lunch. And then the attic was open for anybody who didn't get a chance to go to the attic. It's just 5 minutes away from the hotel. So I have stuff everywhere. So I may have missed a few things, but I know these are the basics that we got. The next presenter was Kathleen from Cross Stitch Antiques. So I believe she was after lunch. So when we all came back, or maybe it was Saturday in the evening, because we went to lunch and then I think people kind of broke off and went to the attic. The next presenter was Kathleen from Cross Stitch Antiques. Now, Kathleen is one of my favorites. I actually have two of hers kitted up that I'm going to show you, along with a few charts that aren't kitted up. I just love her presentations and I love her charts. They're beautiful. So I'm always interested to hear Kathleen Littleton from Cross Stitch Antiques. She went over this brochure with us. It had to do with the Quaker samplers. The school, I believe, was in Pennsylvania. And what was it called? The school was just so interesting to hear about when she was talking in person. And Westtown School, located in Chester County, Pennsylvania. So she talked about the girls that stitched and Quaker motifs, Quaker samplers. It was a fantastic presentation. So anyway, this book is loaded with all kinds of information and pictures of samplers, all about the girls and the school, all kinds of different pictures like this. So it was a great presentation. And the sampler that we got to take home is gorgeous. I'm a sucker for a Quaker sampler. The one that we got to take home fully kitted is Anne Hunt Nailsea 1805. Isn't that beautiful? I'm working on a Quaker motif. I have it sitting out right now. I'll show you in just a few minutes, but wow. And you should see the fabric and threads. The fabrics are like copper color. Isn't that pretty? I think that's the best color to see the threads. Really, really beautiful. And I think those colors are going to look beautiful on this neutral fabric. The fabric is 40 count Maritime White by Lakeside Linen. Let's see, 492 is one of the colors. It looks like it's all the same color, which again is beautiful. There we go, that's a better picture. Really, really pretty for this sampler. So that was the next project that we got to take home. Again, how can I just not love this? I told you one of my favorites is the Quaker samplers, and I think they're just going to be so fun to stitch up. Okay, last but not least, on Sunday, we had Mary Cox. I don't know if I've ever seen Mary, but she again gave a beautiful presentation. Unfortunately, I had to leave early to the airport. So I got the box. Everything in the picture is what we received. Even the hard, I don't know if it's hard acrylic or glass case, but take a look at this fabulous project. So here's the case right here. We were able to bring that home along with everything to make this beautiful bag. It's called the Pet Lamb Sewing Kit, sewing set. And how much fun is that? I don't do a lot of sewing. I think I could make the bag. I can hand sew, like I can do a lot of hand sewing. I do know how to use my sewing machine on a zigzag and on a straight stitch. So I can do little mini pillows for finishing. If I took the time and read, she's got great instructions in here. I could probably make that bag. But here's the cross stitch piece right here. And here she is sitting with her little lamb. Isn't she adorable? She's so beautiful. And we received everything to make it. So that was the last presentation by Mary Cox. And it was just so much fun. And like I said, she even gave us the container that shows right here as well. So I don't think I have it with me. You know what? I see the fabric. Hold on just a second. This was the fabric and it's rolled up. So I think is this French General? It's so pretty. So you can see there's the fabric and you can see inside there's even more fabric inside. So what a fun project. Anyway, I just wanted to briefly talk about the retreat, tell you a little bit about it. They are so much fun. What did I kit up at the attic? What did I buy at the attic? Actually, I didn't buy a lot of charts like I normally do or a lot of fabric. I did buy one piece of fabric, just one. Let me grab my board. I keep kicking the camera. Let me grab my board real quick. This is called Eastwick by Needle and Flax, and it is so beautiful. Wait till you see this. There is just the slightest bit of blue in here. I don't know if you can make it out, but it's just beautiful. Let's see if there's more on the opposite side. Yep, there's more. So here you get a better look at the blues. Little tiny bit of just, of color throughout, kind of like veins. So anyway, this is Eastwick by Needle and Flax. I got a piece of that. That's my only fabric that I bought. If you can believe that, it's so unlike me. What I did focus on is kitting up a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. So just before my trip, I happened to be in this room going through a few things and I found 2 gift certificates. Now, as you guys know, I'm starting this on my birthday, March 31st, and I decided to do DMC. I made the decision. I was done with the decision. Absolutely. So I'm going through and I haven't started kitting it up yet. I did get the fabric. So I keep hitting this camera. Sorry. I decided I wanted Antique Lace by Seraphim Fabric. It's one of my favorites. Now, it didn't really matter what I picked because it's a full coverage piece. The only part I'm going to see is right around the outside of, like towards the framing part of it. So I did want a little bit of variegation up there, which, like I said, it's a full coverage. So what does it matter? But that's what I picked, and that's what it's going to go on. And this is by the Scarlet Letter. It's so fantastic. It's one of the most beautiful charts I've ever seen. So fabric's ready to go. Chart is ready to go. Birthday's coming up, and I can't wait to start. I am so excited. So I'm digging through my craft room, right? I'm cleaning it out. It looks really good. I find 2 gift certificates to the attic. And I'm like, oh my God, I have gift certificates. What should I buy? And I'm like, I have a lot of charts. I mean, these are all charts. One whole huge thing I think is all samplers. Over here is more charts. So I'm like, well, what should I get? How about some silks? So I used my gift certificate. So I thank Brenda and Laura. They were one of them that gave me a gift certificate. And I also thank my friend Jan. So they have purchased me some silks. I ended up pulling some of the colors for the DMC. I pulled the colors for at the attic. I pulled the colors for the silks. I decided on Soie d'Alger silks. The colors were so vibrant, and especially the color of the water. Now, the DMC version was kind of like more of a whitish blue. It was very, very light, and I wanted more of a darker blue water. So the Soie d'Alger that was chosen for the water is so much more vibrant. Maybe it's even this one right here. It might be. Anyway, beautiful colors. I can hardly wait. This starts March 31st, and I'm super excited that I got the silks. I actually got extra. You're going to go, are you crazy? I'm doing 32 count. It's what I'm most comfortable with, using 2 threads. I know it's expensive, but like I said, I had the gift certificate, so why not? And I love 2 threads. It's what I like. I know a lot of sampler stitchers prefer 1 thread. I like 2, and I love my 32 count. And for a project this big, you can see this is massive full coverage. I'm going to choose something that I'm super comfortable with, that I know I'm going to work on. The more comfortable I am with my fabric and thread, the faster it goes. So it's perfect. I love it. It's going to be big, and that's okay. Okay, what else did I buy at the attic? I did kit up. Oh, here are 2 charts. Now, did you guys know, maybe I am late to the party again, but I didn't know this, and a lot of other people didn't know as well. Jean Lee, the owner of the attic, has reproduced samplers. And when someone told me that, I'm like, what? How did I not know this? I love Jean. I'm close to Jean. She's one of the greatest people I've ever met, and I just have such a bond with her. How did I know that how did I not know that she reproduced samplers? I was flabbergasted. So I bought 2 of her samplers. The first one, and the company is called, keep in mind, she owns the attic, Samplers in My Attic. How fitting. This is called Ursula's sampler. When you walk into the attic, walk in and look down. That's where they are. And this is the one that I bought. How beautiful is this going to be in red thread? I mean, I can hardly talk. I love it so much. I am a sucker for alphabet, and for a while I wasn't liking the alphabet, stitching it over and over, but I love a good red silk or a good red. What's the DMC I always use? 115, the variegated. Oh my gosh, a variegated. You know what else I'm using right now? I'm going to show what I worked on at the retreat. Is Cottage Garden threads. Wait till you see the red. It's a cotton. It's gorgeous. The variegation's beautiful. So anyway, this is called Ursula's sampler. It's an Italian red work sampler. I bought that. Jean sampler number 2, which I didn't know about. This is called the Lee School, which is very fitting because Jean's last name is L-E-A, Lee School Sampler. It's by Samplers in My Attic, and it's just darling. It is beautiful. It's 147 by 187, so it's a good size, but wow, is that beautiful. So I love the butterflies, and I bought this one as well. It's also available at the Attic. When you go into the Attic, make a right and go around the corner. It's against the wall. So did you guys know that she reproduced? Oh my goodness. Anyway, just so beautiful. So I bought those two. I was also gifted by my friend Jen. My friend Jen lives in the area. She always comes to see us. Even though she didn't attend the retreat, she came to see us. And she made me an ornament. When someone makes me something, that means more to me than anything in the world, because you guys know I have a themed tree. Every month is a different theme. I love to put different ornaments up here, and she knows I love Halloween. So she made a little Quaker bat for me for my Halloween tree, and that purple fabric is everything. It's just adorable. I love how she finished it, and it says "Stitch with Love." So that really made my day. And the other one that she gifted me, the work basket Quaker Crow. I love this so much, and I love it as a stand-up, just the way it is. It's beautiful. So I wanted to show those two real quick. Also, I did kit up Lantern Lane by Little House Needleworks. I chose to get the belle soie, the silks, because there is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors, and they were all in stock. All the colors were in stock. So Little House Needleworks, this is going to be a stitch along with my friend Rita. And I haven't picked my fabric yet. I haven't decided yet, but isn't that pretty? I kind of want it little. So I'm kind of thinking 46 count maybe, because I'd like to have it little. When you go to the Attic, you see these models, and they're just so beautiful. And some of them are tiny, full on big samplers that are tiny. So I always leave the retreats thinking to myself, I'm in love with little stitching, and I'm in love with samplers. Again. Anyway, that's Lantern Lane, and I kitted it up with the belle soie since there was only 7 colors. That's going to be really pretty. That's probably going to get started when I finish my next Prairie Schooler, which I should finish today. Probably not going to start. I got to ask Rita when she wants to start, but really, really pretty. Okay, so I kitted up that. So I mentioned Jen. Jen lives in Arizona. She's a really good friend of mine, and I just love her to death. She met us all for lunch, and she said, hey, I was contacted by a lady who said her neighbor or friend or relative cross stitches, but unfortunately she's elderly and she can no longer see what she's stitching. So she's giving away all her cross stitch stuff. Would you guys like to see it and go through it? And we're like, yeah, absolutely, giddy up. So she says, okay, I'll bring it. So we all met for lunch. She had them in the back of her car in these big tubs. That always makes me so sad when someone's elderly and can no longer cross stitch or craft. And I always look to see, is there something I can preserve? Is there something that I can take over or frame and love? Because I always see people going to, you know, like, what are they called? Thrift shops, and seeing needlework that maybe family members have turned in that they really don't want. And I love when people save the needlework. It makes me happy. At the same time, it makes me sad that either the family doesn't want it, or the person passed away, or they can't stitch anymore. So in this case, the woman was elderly. She could no longer stitch anymore, and it just broke my heart. So what did I find in the bin that Jen said, you guys go through it? And she stitches, like I said, Jen's the one that made me my bat. Seriously, is that the cutest thing for hanging my tree for Halloween? Anyway, I found this absolutely gorgeous book called Santa Remembered. It is by Leisure Art. Now, you guys remember Leisure Art came out with these books a long, long time ago, I think. I don't remember what year. This is book 1, and it just has some of the most beautiful Santas to stitch in here. I mean, you can see that's gorgeous. Old time Santas. Look at that one. It's just beautiful. If you hear noises, my shepherd's behind. He just had a bath today. Look at how gorgeous this book is. I don't know if you can find it on Amazon. If you can find it on Amazon, or let me show just this part here. Another gorgeous Santa, but this book is beautiful, beautiful. So I really feel lucky to have her book, and I'm going to love her book. Like I said, it makes me sad that she can't stitch anymore, but I also, in fact, I did not bring, let me flash, if I can find a picture of the chart, I'll show you here, lavender and lace. So let me show you what she stitched. The woman who could no longer cross stitch anymore, she threw all of her cross stitch in a bin, and I found this in a package, and I just can hardly believe I am going to finish the border. It's the only part of the chart that's not finished. So lavender and lace, oh Christmas tree. And this is what she stitched that she didn't finish. Isn't that just something? I'm going to show it up close. In fact, let me pull the light over so it really shows better. Isn't that just beautiful? It just makes me sad that she couldn't finish it and enjoy this on her wall. This is something, and you guys might think I'm crazy, but this is something that I would keep up all year. I don't care. Halloween and Christmas, anything that I've stitched that's just so beautiful, or in this case that someone else stitched, I don't mind that it's Christmas. I want it on my wall. I'm proud of it. I'm proud to display. So what I'm going to do is, you can see here's the border in Treasure Braid or Krennic, I can't remember, that she started but she didn't finish. So I'm guessing that it might go all the way across here maybe. And it's so hard to, and then maybe down here is my guess, because it starts right about here. And then I would finish it because it's beautiful and sparkly. You can see the sparkle. And I'll show you the tree up close. There's also sparkle in the tree here, 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 all throughout the tree. So she just, this is a masterpiece. This is just beautiful. I'm going to pull it up real slow so you can see the detail on the little girl's dress and the tree. Look at the bottom of that dress. It's just beautiful. I am so lucky to have come across this, and I'm going to love it. I'm going to try and finish it. If for some crazy reason I have the pattern, it came with the pattern, it came with the thread. So I'm going to do everything I can to finish it. If there's, someone had said if I wanted to take that out, I could, if I wanted it just this piece here. But I really like the gold spark. Oh, you know what? There is border at the bottom. See, under her feet, the little girl's feet, there's border. And she also did here, border here. So it's got to come up this way and around. There's not much more of this to finish. So that's my goal, is to finish this gorgeous piece. And I'm so grateful. If I can find out her name, I'm going to give her the credit for stitching this, because, I mean, really, how beautiful would this be framed, even sitting back in here? And like I said, I don't care that it's not Christmas. I'll keep it up because it's just, it deserves its time. It deserves to be displayed. And I'm thrilled. It does make me sad that she couldn't finish it. And, you know, like I said, she's elderly and she wanted it to go to someone else. And it certainly did. Someone who loved it. So that is lavender and lace. I believe it's called Oh Christmas Tree. So what a find. What an absolute fantastic find. So what else did I work on while I was there at the retreat? I ended up buying a kit. It is 2023 Collector's Heart. It just came out in January. Now I wanted something easy to stitch. 32 count is my go-to. And here's what I worked on at the retreat. I bought this at the Attic. It's a full kit. It came with the fabric. It came with cottage garden thread, which is just beautiful. The color is leather bound, JK02. Let me show you. It's behind. I have all of my pieces behind me. Okay, so like I said, I kind of wanted something that was comfortable for me to stitch on. Even though I had my light and my magnifier, I kept it 32 and below. I also worked on a 20 count project, and I'll show you in a few minutes. So this is my progress. Heart in Hand, the 2023 Collector's Heart Edition. This did come as a full kit. So isn't this fun? The floss is gorgeous. I don't have it with me right now, but it is a variegated thread. Perfect variegation. It's fun to work with. I thought it was silk at first. It's so soft. And that's what I worked on during the retreat. I started this with my friend Gina and Angie. We all started together, and I should have this done by my next YouTube video. Very fun. So that's what I worked on while I was at the retreat. The other, oh, and it also came with a button. I can't lose this button. Okay, next, the other thing I worked on, Teresa Kogut. Again, this is 32 count. That's what I'm comfortable with. The other thing I worked on at the retreat is Heaven and Nature. You guys have seen this. I did finish this whole pot. Now I'm starting the raccoon, but this pot is done. Okay, so that's what I worked on during the retreat when I first got there. So like I said, all of this is done up in here. All I have is the raccoon, 2 motifs, and the rest of up here in the top part will be done. This is on 32 count Dusty Road by Seraphim Fabrics. Isn't this pretty? There, that's a good picture right there. So pretty. So you can see to the very, very right at the bottom, I'm starting the raccoon. You can see his ears. And I got a lot of progress on this. It's weird how the lighting keeps changing in this room, but that's accurate right there. The fabric is beautiful. Dusty Road by Seraphim, 32 count. I always use 2 threads. So even on the last project I showed you, the heart and hand is also 2 threads. So that's my progress. That's what I got done at the retreat. I should have that raccoon done pretty soon. It's fun. It's just such a beautiful stitch. I really enjoy this. Okay, next, what else did I get? One of the things I was gifted from a very, very good friend of mine. It meant the world to me. I have never had a pair of Cohana Scissors. They are a Japanese brand. This case that it came in is like bamboo. It's so soft. It's so pretty. And I just had to show you these because I'm so excited to have my very first pair of Cohana Scissors. I am thrilled. Isn't that beautiful? So thank you. I was so thrilled. There is a website, Cohana, and like I said, they do come from Japan, but you can also get them from needlework shops. I saw Hobby House had some, the Attic had some, but I'm just so thrilled with my very first pair of Cohanas. How sweet. Okay, let's talk about a few things I've been working on. Now this is where my sort of sampler whip parade comes in, and we're gonna do it pretty fast. So I had a video a few weeks back, I guess, and I was thinking about ditching Anne Grimshaw. I didn't like the fabric I chose. I wanted it to be more antique, more crusty. However, you guys convinced me to keep going because I do have some progress, and what I decided to do is continue going. It's 32 count. It is not the prettiest fabric, but I love working on it. I didn't iron this one, so that's my progress. I am using Splendor Silk Black. It is a silk. It's very pretty. Again, I love working on this fabric. The fabric's great. The color's not. So what I decided to do is to continue working on this, and what I'm going to do is try and dye it afterwards. Either I'm gonna press maybe like some tea bags on it, you know, so I can, in spots, to see how it goes. I might dunk it. I might try the antiquing spray. Whatever I decide, once I'm done, I'm gonna take some of the Splendor Silk on an extra piece of this, and I'm gonna do tests. So I'm gonna test the tea bag. I'm gonna test the spray, see which one comes out the best, and give it a go. So I'm gonna dye it afterwards. Why not? So anyway, I think this is just really pretty. The Splendor Silk is fun to work with. I really enjoy it, and I'll keep working on this, and it's not a ditch after all. Again, that's Anne Grimshaw 1818 by the Scarlet Letter. Okay, so that's project number 1 that I'm working on. The next one I've been working on is Groningen. I believe it's a Dutch sampler by Al Forrest. This is halfway done. It's really pretty. I am using 40 count buttercream. Now, a lot of people would never use sulky thread, which tends to be a little bit thicker. You guys know what sulky's like. If you've ever tried it, it's thicker than DMC. It's equivalent to 2 DMCs, I think they say. So you know it's gonna be thick. But this particular buttercream is kind of an open, the holes are a little bit more open. So I'm using sulky thread, 40 count, and I love it. I think this is so beautiful. I am halfway done. I got the grapes done in the middle. I still have to finish the rest of the arch, And I think I have one more set of grapes right here. And then I just have some of these motifs, finish the border, and I'll be done. So that's really, really pretty. And here's the picture here. So you can see I've got quite a bit done. This will probably be my next sampler finish. And it's been a lot of fun, but sulky thread worked real well with this 40 count. Like I said, normally most people would say I would never use sulky on 40, but it works for me and I love it. It's not too thick at all. You can see the grapes look like grapes without being too smashed, and it's just such a pretty sampler. I really like it. So again, Alp Forest, and it's called Gornigen. 32 count buttercream. That'll be my next finish. Okay, the next one I've been working on is called I Went to Church Sampler by Brenda Keys from the Sampler Company. I love the Sampler Company. Absolutely love that all of her charts. I've got a whole collection of them and they're gorgeous. So I Went to Church Sampler. Here's what it looks like. I am doing this with Becca from My Stitchy Home. She has a YouTube channel. And Becca and I have laughed so much because the I Went to Church sampler has to do with a man that's in love with this woman and she has no interest in him anymore. And she has a roving eye. So she's checking out some other guy and we named it the Roving Eye Sal Stitch Along. It's I went to church on Sunday. My love, she passed me by. I knew her mind was changing by the roving of her eye. So this poor guy, anyway, this is the cover picture. There's been a few color changes because I wanted it to look just like the cover. And this is my progress. It's 32 count. Hold on just a second. 32 count. Oh, this is buttercream. They're both buttercream. So it's one of my favorites. I think it's just by, it's Newcastle, I know that. So anyway, that's my progress. That'll probably be the next sampler that I maybe finish. I've got a lot more motifs to do at the bottom, but yeah, this is really pretty. I'm gonna show it up close just so you can see the colors. Well, the lighting isn't that great right now. I don't usually film in the late afternoon, and so it's a little shadowy. Anyway, that's my next project that I've been working on. Really pretty. And okay, I'll continue working on that. The next one that I've worked on that I have put a few more stitches in is Reflet de Soie. Isn't that pretty? I chose a darker fabric. A lot of people went light, just like the picture. I don't know what it calls for, but I chose dark. And this is another one that's going to get some love real soon. It's beautiful. Let's see if I can get the color without it being shadowed. Let me show it up close. And this is, I believe I'm working on, I don't know if I wrote down what I'm using. I think they're silks, but I did forget to write down what no, you know what? I know I wrote it down. Here it is, Reflet de Soie, 32 count Oaken. I'm using DMC, 2 threads. Isn't that pretty? But this fabric is just really pretty. I don't know why I'm drawn to a darker fabric on a lot of these samplers. So up close you can see the yellow's not showing too well in this light, but that's going to get some more love. This has been a really fun one. So pretty. Okay, so that's the next work in progress. The next one, you guys know, I haven't worked on this and I don't know why, because I love it. It is Ann Thomas 1854. I saw someone at the retreat had just stitched the bird. It was absolutely gorgeous. Now let me show you this up close because I'm working on this bird here and I have this done here. And I'm actually starting the over one, which I don't mind. Ann Thomas is on 32 count ale. Picture this plus. I'm using Soie d'Alger, 2 threads. And that is my go-to. It's what I love. That's my progress. Isn't it beautiful? I have done very little since I last showed this, but I wanted to make sure and include it because it is a favorite. So, so pretty. This is going to be kept out because I do want to continue working on this, but that fabric, look at how beautiful those silks look on this fabric. So pretty. Okay, the next one is another favorite. It's Dutch Beauty. It's massive. It is also on 32 count ale. I chose darker again. Most people go light, just like the picture. It's a massive chart by Permin of Copenhagen. It is just gorgeous. Dutch Beauty, but this is the official name down here in Dutch. And this is the massive project. So I'm working up in here. I thought I was closer to getting ready to start her, but I'm actually getting ready to go around the arch here. And I chose 32 count ale again. Picture this plus. I am using DMC, and I'm also using some weak stye work. So you can see the canopy has a lot more stitches than I showed last time. And she is just so pretty. So I wanted to show this because people asked me about this at the retreat. And I'm trying to get like this part so you can see the top, and then because it starts to shadow at the very, very top. So I'm going to finish the arch and start the woman. And I think she's just so pretty on this ale. I'm glad I went dark. I think that she is beautiful on dark. I think she's beautiful on light too. Lots of people have finished this, and it's just gorgeous on the light fabric too. But for some reason, I wanted to go dark. So anyway, Dutch Beauty by Permin of Copenhagen. And that's one other project I have going. Okay, I think that's all I have for the small whip parade. Let me show I'm running out of time. I will do a future sampler video with the kitted up projects and the huge stack of charts that I have. In fact, I'll do that when I come back from the retreat in February. We'll do another sampler video. I do have a few giveaways. So in my last video, I am giving away Mrs. Campbell 1805 by Hands Across the Sea. This was donated by someone who thought they would stitch it and they just don't think they're going to get to it. So they wanted it to go to one of you. And if you're interested in this, put Mrs. Campbell. I will incorporate both videos. So I'm going to pick a couple winners from one video, a couple winners from the other, and then choose like a random number picker and choose the winner. So if you're interested, put Mrs. Campbell. Your comments are going to go down below in this video. Be 18 years old, because I have to ask your address. And in the comments, don't say the word giveaway or free or anything like that. So this is giveaway number 1. If you're interested in Mrs. Campbell, you're more than welcome to put in for this. The other one that I don't think I included last week that on my last video that I meant to, I just finished this, and I believe did it come back from the framer or from the finisher? I can't remember if I sent it or if I'm doing it myself. I'm finally able to start doing some of my own finishing since my arm surgery, and I can do a little bit more now. I have more ability. I was pretty restricted for 6 months on what I could do, so now I'm planning on finishing this just like this with a little bit of maybe some ruching on the edge, and make it just like this, a big pillow. I think I showed my finish in the last video. If not, I'll show you a picture of it here. But if you're interested in this chart, it is brand new. I have not marked in it. Put that you're interested in the red schoolhouse. I can't even talk. Put that you're interested in this chart. It is by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. This is giveaway number 2. You can have my chart. And just put schoolhouse, because that is a schoolhouse. That's what makes the sampler so unique. Put that you're interested in the schoolhouse sampler. That's giveaway number 2. Giveaway number 3 is Leela's Studio. This is one I've had. I actually have a duplicate. A Quaker's Welcome. Isn't that a beautiful sampler? That's one of my favorites. I love it. These colors are so pretty. So Leela's Studio, if you're interested, put you're interested in the Quaker sampler. Okay, how about some fabric? Now as you guys know, I have a Buy Me a Coffee. The donations that you guys give to me goes back to you in forms of fabric, charts, thread. It does not go to me. And it does. It helps with shipping cost. But most of all, I'm super excited to give away some fabric today from the Buy Me a Coffee Fund. So these charts here, these two were donated. The one with the schoolhouse was the one that I used. So if you're interested in fabric, I know a lot of you like high count fabric. So why not give away some? 46 count color and cotton winter wheat. So if you're interested in trying a really pretty, where's my board? Oh, here it is. If you're interested in trying a really pretty tan, you can see it's an off-white, or it's a tan, 46 count, so it's a little bit high. This is color and cotton winter wheat. Put that you're interested in 46 count, because this is going to be the only one that I have. That's the next giveaway. Who wants to try? I had Jean cut me a small piece of 56. Who wants to try it? It's a small piece. So it's a fat eighth Kingston 56 count cream. So if you're interested in cream, 56 count, give it a try. It's a small piece. And like I said, it's a fat eighth, beautiful color in cream. Kingston, put you're interested in the 56 count. I dare you. You guys know I stitch on 56. I love it. I didn't think I would, but I did. So put you're interested in the 56 count. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to do a 32 count. Did I do a 32? Nope. Let's go down a little bit for those that don't stitch as high. This is Bellini from Color and Cotton. It's a beautiful color. Absolutely beautiful. If you're interested in this, put you're interested in 32 count. So you really have to pay attention to the counts. 32. The cream is 56. And this one, the wheat, is 46. So if you're interested in any of these giveaways, you're more than welcome to put in for more than one. I'll pick a winner in my next video, and it'll be fun. You're more than welcome, like I said, to put in for just more than one. Okay, that's the end of today's video. I did not get a chance to go to what's on my radar. What samplers do I have kitted up that I want to stitch next? I also have a huge stack of samplers here that are my favorites that aren't kitted up. I didn't get a chance to go through those because I didn't want the video to be super long. And put in for giveaways. You're more than welcome to put in for more than one. Just remember, don't say the word giveaway down below or I have to delete it. So I will probably try and do a video before I leave for my next retreat. I leave February 1st. So I'll try and get you guys a video out before that. I will announce giveaway winners from the last video and this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. And keep stitching on those samplers, because the more you do, the more progress, the more the picture starts to form. And it just is so exciting. I will see you next video. Bye, everybody.